Solace is found in knowing that some of our lowest moments can lead us to discovering our true selves. As humans, we fear failure because somehow our surroundings have taught us and sometimes told us that going through some sort of failure equates to being a failure. That somehow failing at something identifies one as a failure. Maybe this is why, as people, we run from failure like it is a plague, and we feel like if we don't run, we will be labeled as a failure. Yet when we introspect, we can point out times we have failed and what that situation taught us. Hi, and welcome to this channel. Let's talk about failure. So there was a point in my life when my body forced me to choose between my work, the job I had then, and my health. I remember having excruciating back pain. I was going through depression, like my body was just falling apart. And I had to choose between my work or my health. And I ended up choosing my health because anyway, I couldn't even work. And I knew the nature of that work was going to require a lot from me that I knew I wasn't able to give. And so I had to choose my health. And I remember the aftermath of that. You'd think that it would be better, but for me, I just felt like a complete failure for the decision I made. And I remember feeling like that for a long time. And yet I knew that I had to take care of my health, because then when I took care of my health, it would help me to come back as a better person, as a healthier person. And yet I still felt like a failure. And even in that, the things I was able to learn through that process when I was out of work, I don't think I would have learned the things I've learned if I had gone a different direction. So, you may have failed at something, or you may have made a mistake or even mistakes, and you may feel like you made a mistake or you failed, and it may not be, or it may actually be merited that you did make a mistake or you failed at something. But I'm here to tell you that just because you failed at something or made a mistake or even mistakes, that you are not a failure. It does not define you. You now are not identified as a failure. Take the lessons you learned from the failure. The attitude, get a new attitude towards it, get a new perspective towards it, so that you derive lessons from it and not necessarily just go into self-pity or self-loathing, self-hate. Don't go into that space. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Take the lessons you learned from the failure and have a new perspective. Because just because you did not do something right does not mean that then you'll do another thing wrong, because sometimes our minds be playing games on us. But then I'm just here to tell you that it was a failure. Learn from it, pick the lessons you need to pick from it, and then move, because that's better. It's a better way to look at it. It's a better perspective to have, because when you go into the rabbit hole of self-loathe, self-pity, you sort of keep going on this cycle that sort of never ends until you put a stop to it and say, okay, I'm getting out of this. Yeah, so for me, what I at some point considered a failure has turned out to be like one of the things that has really taught me a lot, things I would never have learned if I had taken a different direction. So yeah, I have a free resource that I will link down in the description box. It's journal. It's a journal. It's called the Solace series. These are some of the things I would do when I was out of work. I would write a lot. I wrote a lot. I would journal a lot, and out of that I started to develop a few things, and one of them is this journal. It's free. It's in the description box. If you're interested, you can click in the description box where it's written more, and then 3 dots, click there and you'll find this free resource. I hope it helps. It's just journal notes that I got from like really, looking for the meaning of life, because yeah, life had done me a blow. So I hope it helps. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.